Welcome back to the channel, Upcyclers. And today we've got a little Q&A we're going to do. I pulled together the most common questions that showed up in the comments on my previous video about my experience grading with tag. And I was fortunate enough to, in the process of that video, hear from a representative from tag who reached out just to say that they saw the video and enjoyed it and to say thank you for doing it, which I thought was really cool. And I asked if I could ask them a few questions of just stuff that I didn't know the answers to. There were a couple personal questions I had about it and the questions from the comments. And he said, sure. So here are those questions and answers as I sent them to him. And then I put some notes down on the answers. Um, some of the quick ones were, when your process is fully live, is the process of mailing out the submission packets to customers going to be the same? That would be the first part of the video you saw with the zipper bag and the zip tie, and them including the cards, the branded card savers and the penny sleeves and all that stuff. And they said, yeah, that is their process going forward. That wasn't something they were doing just in the soft launch phase, but that is how they intend for it to work. I asked if there was going to be a pop report or a set registry, something like that. And they said, yes, that is absolutely something they plan to have out, hopefully fairly soon. Um, I asked, how does your process handle fake cards, and or is your slab a certificate of authenticity of a given card? And he said that yes, they do have a system in place that includes both a manual and automated piece to identify counterfeit cards. A card in their slab, similar to most of the other grading companies, can be considered a sign that they believe the card to be authentic. Just like everybody, if they make a mistake, they have a guarantee and they'll fix it. And the details of that are on their webpage. It was just on a different page under the about them stuff and not in the FAQ where I was looking for it. I also asked about the greenness or ecologicalness of their process. I mean, I am the San Diego upcycler. I try to reuse as much stuff as I can, like shipping materials and whatnot. And he said the foil wrappers themselves that the cards came in are made of the same material that you would get like a pack of Topps Chrome cards from or something like that. And he didn't know offhand if those were recyclable. I did a little bit of my own research, and unfortunately, they are not. Um, but on the plus side, yes, they are going to be continuing to reuse those padded boxes with the zippers that you saw at the beginning of the video. Those do get reused. Those are not getting thrown out. Those get resent out to the next customer. So a little good, little bad there. Then the big question, which is why I saved this one for last, that I got by far the most questions about, was essentially vintage stuff. And in their world, that'd be pre 2000. And, in their FAQ, they did say that they're going to be rolling them out in 10-year increments, probably going backwards. So the next decade of cards to be added would be 1990 to 1999. And then I asked a follow-up question, which was, how long are we really talking there? Is this something that's, imminently coming out in the coming weeks, or is this something that, might take a little while longer? And they said this is something that they will be rolling out over the next 1 to 2 years, and that their more immediate priorities that will be rolled out before that would be additional varieties of modern cards, like trading card game cards. Obviously, stuff like Pokemon and Magic is a huge business, and they want to be able to handle those as well. The thicker, like memorabilia cards, uh, die cut cards, and the clear acetates. He did mention that they will be adding pack pulled autos imminently. So I would hope maybe by this summer, if not sooner, you'll be able to get modern um, auto cards done. Now that's not in-person autos that you might get done at a card show or at a baseball game or running into somebody at a restaurant, but at least, if you pull a Bowman Chrome, first Bowman Chrome auto of somebody, you could get that graded by tag as well, assuming, of course, it's after the year 2000. So that was the bulk of the questions. If you have any additional questions, he was a very nice gentleman, very helpful, very responsive. We've been chatting across Instagram off and on over the past few days over the long weekend. And any other questions that I didn't cover that you might have, please do add them to the comments on this video. And then before we sign off, the only other thing I did want to bring up, which isn't something I discussed with him, but is something that was brought up a few times, which is the resale value of them. Now, yeah, the short answer is PSA is still the king when it comes to resale value. I don't agree with that personally. I don't think they do a good enough job of grading to warrant that, but I get that they are the 800-pound gorilla in the room. So that's kind of what everybody does. And, for people that are investing and flipping and dealing, yeah, myself personally, I have orders out at PSA as well. And these are cards that I'm not looking to keep for my personal collection. These are things that, like a Bowman Chrome Auto that I pulled, I want to sell it. And the best way to sell it right now, unfortunately or fortunately, is PSA. Now, and I don't think it's really fair to say what their resale value compares to PSA because the volume is just so small. I mean, PSA grades more cards in a couple of days than these guys have graded ever. So, and there just aren't a whole lot of them out there for sale. And there are plenty of people out there that don't even know, that this company exists yet. It's still very early on in this process. But how they do in the resale market is going to be directly tied to how much confidence and how good a job they do of convincing everyone of the technology that they have behind this stuff. That is going to be key for them. And again, this is me talking, not them. This is not even something I discussed with him. But if across the industry, across the hobby, people like you and me believe that they're doing as good or better a job grading than anybody else, and more importantly, if we start to really believe in the technology, and not just me personally, but the majority of people out there, if consumer sentiment slowly grows and switches with this grading company, that yes, this is legitimate technology. This is not HGA all over again. This isn't some fly-by-night startup, out of somebody's garage. This is a legitimate thing. The technology is real. The machine learning is doing a consistent, fair job of grading, such that when a card has a grade in their slab, and you can compare that to other cards graded of that same card and have an idea. Because, it's easy to say the old buy the card, not the slab, like we all like to say, but it's something entirely different to actually do that and, walk that walk instead of just talk that talk. So that's really going to drive the resale value more than anything. And I think, I intend to continue tracking their resale value. In fact, maybe in a few more months, after there's some more data out there, I will do a video where I do some analysis of their resale value. I do want to continue following this topic because I do think there's not enough of it out there on YouTube. I mean, the reason I made the first video was simply the fact that I was looking for a video like that to learn more about them when I was deciding if I was going to grade cards with them or not, and I couldn't find anything that satisfied me with what I saw of how it was presented. So I said, all right, I'll just, throw a couple bucks at it, give them some cards, and I'll make my own video. And obviously that, struck a chord with a lot of people. I wasn't the only person that wanted that. So I'm going to continue to follow this thing and continue to update and report on this as best I can over the coming, hopefully, weeks, months, maybe years. And, we can all go on this tag ride together. As always, if you enjoy this kind of content, if you find this useful or interesting, please do like and subscribe to the channel. You can also find me on Instagram and eBay under the same name, the San Diego Upcycler, all one word, no spaces. And yeah, as always, I hope everything's going great and you're having a good day. And I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.